Fuck. I hate this fucking place. No, I don't. I love it. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. Time to make some fucking money, that's for sure.
GM, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're taking a look at the Bitcoin dump, the kind of crypto onslaught we saw over the weekend and the results from this, trying to see what strength there was in the market and what we've learned. So without further ado, let's jump on in. Make sure you do subscribe if you're new. So Bitcoin was playing out this ascending wedge, which it broke. As you can see over the weekend, some big red candles down off the back of the fears of war between Israel and Iran. So that was the kind of headline that moved the markets, people not wanting to hold risk assets over the weekend, it seems, and a deleveraging event took place. So I just recently listened to the Crown analysis this morning, talking about where next for BTC. So he was calling for a nice bounce here, maybe as high as like 67.5, which quite interestingly would be the underside of this ascending triangle. And then he says potentially we see a bit of a rejection here going into the halving. So somewhere around the halving, or just maybe after the halving, a potential another retest towards the lows, maybe high 50s, low 60s. So this could just be a bit of a relief before then. So just to prepare you, that may well play out, as he has been quite spot on with the markets. But if we do reclaim inside, maybe this will continue to play out before we have the expansion phase. But generally, no one has a clue what is going to happen on any short-term time horizons. We hope in the long term, of course, prices are going to be a lot higher than where they are right now, but no one has a crystal ball. So these were the headlines that we were seeing over the weekend, and there's some stark contradictions. So this was within a space of like 30 minutes, these two tweets coming from Zero Hedge. Israel said to strike back on Iran in the next 24 to 48 hours, and then Israel not looking for escalation with Iran, says the US officials. So what you can denote from that is that no one has a clue with the headlines. So the headline risk is that you just get chopped up if you're trying to trade that specifically, and there's no alpha to actually gather from the headlines either around geopolitical tensions. So you should probably just ignore it. If the worst case does happen, then we've got bigger fears than our crypto and internet beans going down. But typically these large FUD storms will over time obviously resolve themselves, and in a few weeks time you don't even remember what was the shenanigans about. So last cycle, these kind of events and these big washouts, which I think we had probably like a 30 to 40% cleanse on a lot of altcoins. Last cycle, I would have been a seller of those in the fear kind of camp, just getting scared, selling the bags. And then of course you see within like 24 hours, the rebounds are probably higher than where you actually sold. So these days I am quite unbothered by the emotional sides of the markets, and we just simply let things ride. We sit through in spot positions. Now, obviously if you're on leverage and leverage trading these markets, good luck to you. But of course you would have risk management in play, such as a stop loss, I would hope. But if you're in spot, pretty much just do nothing is the call. So that aligns with GCR here, who did come out of hiatus just to tell the crypto bros, chill and don't do anything silly. So this was his first tweet in over a year. I think it was around Jan or Feb of 2023, maybe the last time he had tweeted saying, I'm done for the socials for now. But he did come back and he said, if you've been sidelined, believe this is a good opportunity to scale into high conviction tokens. If you're fully invested, just survive, hold your spot positions and do not capitulate. So don't be weak hands. Someone once said liquidations are a forced transfer of wealth from traders who need leverage to wealthy spot buyers. I was enjoying retirement from social media, but don't want to see my brothers get shaken out when the future is still so bright. So GCR is well renowned in the crypto space, recently bought the WIF picture, the NFT. And this is what Lucas's kind of analysis of that. He says, look, it took me a while to realize, but crypto is pretty much controlled by a handful of big boys. And so when people like GCR are calling bottoms, I treat it less like a random prediction and more like, I'm bidding here, I've got 2.7 bill. It's very unlikely the sellers have more than me, so up from here. So this is a little bit contradictory to the analysis from Crown earlier, which is potential for another drop down. I think we're in for some chop generally, but again, no one has a clue. So you just got to either play the long game, sit in your spot bags and wait for much higher prices, you know, have your cash out plan. Rather than just worrying about these things intraday, I think that's very unhealthy for you. We had things like this, so this was a good bottom post. Alex Becker, I'm down 8 figures today, haven't even checked the portfolio, I'm watching Fallout and eating chicken. He says, and I quote, burn the market down till the Gen Z broccoli boy fucks are too scared to post that fucking hat dog for at least a decade, then up. I can wait. So this is quite amusing, and as Curb posted, this is someone trying to dunk on the best meme coin for the cycle, and typically that comes in at a short-term low. So Web3 Quant with the update, WIF has had the strongest rebound in coins over $1 billion. This correction also wiped out all of the leverage, and so the path of least resistance would be to go up from here. Now we have headlines on a positive note here as well. So just checking out with correspondent in Hong Kong here, Mr. Box Mining, with a quick update.
If you guys have been asking about Bitcoin ETFs in Hong Kong, well, check this out. There's a giant Bitcoin ad right now talking about the ETF that's imminent in Hong Kong. There's definitely a lot of attention going on here because at the end of the day, when these ETFs launch, they need people to buy, right? So more and more ads, more and more attention, and Hong Kong's trying to push itself to be the center of Web3. So in this financial hub with so many people, we're gonna see more of this.
So he's just pointing out there are ads live in Hong Kong right now for Bitcoin. The headline today was that these Chinese asset managers, Becerra Capital, Hashkey, and I think there was another couple, announced their applications for Bitcoin and ETH spot ETFs have been approved by the SEC of Hong Kong, essentially. So opening up markets for Bitcoin and ETH in Asia, i.e. for China. So this is very big indeed. Should not be overlooked. This again brings about quite a bit of game theory into the markets as well, as you want to see more competition from different regions for these assets if you want higher prices. So super interesting that has come out right around the time we've had that big dump off as well. So Ryan Cantorin-Clark, aka the Flow Horse here, bag updates. He posted Bitcoin, Salt, ETH with AI and some real world asset bags on there, and some replied Sol with Athena, PUPS, and another one that's redacted, which I think is Mew, reading through his tweets as of late. Positive news for Solana here, v1.17.31 release now recommended for general use on mainnet. So this is the update for validators to enhance the Solana network and hopefully do about with some of that congestion issues that have been plaguing the system right now. So that is positive stuff. This is the potential fix, at least temporarily, for Sol mainnets. So market overview here, we have the likes of Bitcoin up around 3%, ETH up big, 6.7% on the daily, Sol about 154 this morning. We can see the big gainers here, the likes of Neo, Core, which is a Bitcoin L2. We have the likes of Beam, Render, WIF, Conflux, and some others. A few losers in here, Celestia, Flare, and then we're into like the stables. So showing you that the altcoins temporarily at least are outperforming stables at this moment. So as you would denote from that, a bounce is happening. Now, some of the bigger bounces here in the meme market, we had Boden with an outrageous move down and then back up. So this got sold off, apparently down to like 33 cents, with people just shipping out of their bags. And this from the bottom is up 125% back to 75 cents here. So that Boden chart is quite ridiculous, really. Looks rather bullish and showing strength after the big sell-off. We have WIF at $3 here this morning. We have two things of note here. So we have a new fill the wick around 370, 380 up there. So someone aped massive as it was crashing down. Someone just came in and just market bought a shitload. WIF did go below 2. I think this goes down to like 130s here. So there was obviously a wick down with some capitulation, and now it's recovered up to $3 as of this morning. So good recovery on WIF, listed on OKX exchange as well as of first thing this morning. Then we have PUPS here, the Bitcoin runes play runes. That protocol goes live as the Bitcoin halving takes place, which is 5 days out from today. So not long till the halving, not long till runes. And then the PUPS will have their runes collection. There will be 1 billion of them. Covered this in a video late last week. This thing didn't really see much of a correction throughout the whole weekend antics. There are some obviously big differences, like this one candle spans a price of 60%, which is just stupid. But you can see generally this thing has been just chopping sideways here, somewhere between maybe high 50s to high 80s, that kind of region, over the last like almost 4 days at this point. So PUPS showing strength and not really showing signs of a major sell-off in the market when other things were getting hammered, which is quite interesting also. So some big narratives there. Then one thing for the radar as well, this thing may well be shilled like crazy. Intro public sale LBP. CL posted this, laughed my ass off. Community notes, probably saving investors millions. So the community notes on this protocol has over 600 KOLs who bought before the public sale. Due diligence is advised. And then this was from Icebags. Mac BTC has always been one of the biggest scumbags in the industry. Any project he's involved with in any way is an insta pass. So do be aware, Zap XBT has been on the hand-holding for newbies in the market. Some of these accounts love to get involved in these schemes and dump on followers. Lady of LARP, Mac BTC, amongst some of the serial offenders. So a bit of renewed confidence in the market as we see potential subsidence of geopolitical stuff and a bounce for the crypto markets after a very sharp sell-off. Let's see where this bounce takes us. Do we get a bit of a V-shaped reversal or not? We'll have to wait and see. 5 days out from the halving though, the future is bright. Hong Kong ETFs are coming. Date on that for the actual go live, not yet announced, but many reasons to be optimistic here on crypto. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you in the next one. Peace.